Hey guys, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome to Torque. We are super excited to bring you this classic illusion and bring it from the ground
To the stage.
and also for walk-around situations as
Yeah,
well.
this is the first arm twist that you'll be able to do standing up and not have to put your hand on a table or on the ground, which, as we all know, is a heck of a lot better.
Yeah, you bring it to more of an audience. And also we've added a couple little subtleties to make it a little grosser at the end. So let's get into Torque. I'm sure that you guys are familiar with the arm twist illusion. If you're not, then you're gonna love this. But if you are, then you know that Miri Edid is the original creator of the arm twist illusion, and that's where my inspiration for doing this came from, because I always enjoyed that illusion, but it was always on the ground, and it was always only a select few people were able to view what was going on. So,
And don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah,
but-
it's okay.
and it made it a close-up effect. It wasn't something you could do on stage. I mean, you could, but no one in
Yeah,
your audience
yeah.
would ever really see what was happening on the stage
Yes.
as clearly as they can see when you're up like this.
yeah, so basically we took it from the ground, brought it up on stage, used a volunteer to bring it up, and we added a couple little subtleties at the end to give them a nice little gross out. So we feel that we've compiled enough cool stuff to
Grant.
grant putting this out for you guys. So we hope you enjoy it. All right, we're gonna need someone to come up on stage and help me. I need anybody, you kind sir, over there with the orange juice in your mouth and your phone and all these distractions. Do you, you might want to put that
sorry.
down. Now, let's give a little round of applause for coming up, everybody. Awesome. Okay, that's enoug applause.
Golf clap?
It's not for you. It's too much. Okay. So place your right hand in front of you, please. There. The other hand, obviously. Oh, I know, it's okay. He didn't pass grade 6. Now, I want you to take your hand, place it over top of here. Yes? And you're going to keep your thumbs pointed down just like this, and your elbow completely straight and solid. Place your hand on there, and on the count of 3, you're going to move your hand slowly down. Well, on the center of the count of 3. That's
Count
okay.
of 3, right, sorry.
Yeah, remember, elbow straight, count of 3, ready? So go ahead, place your thumb down, and slowly move your hand down, 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 down. Crack it a little over, and you could just see it starts to move all the way. Watch to see it's all the way, like so. Actually, you know what? You can see it's in a weird position, but you can. Torque. It hurts. All right, so this is the explanation for Torque, and we're going to go over all the little subtleties, nuances, and stuff that you need to. But first, if you want to do the ending where you have the sound of the bones breaking,
Right.
There's a couple options you have. One of them does require you to spend a little bit of money. Most magic shops have this. It's called the neck cracker.
About $9.
Yeah, $8 or $9. If you want to put the money into it, it's awesome because it's portable, it's easy to use. You don't have like, well, we're gonna get into the plastic cup thing, right? So if you want, they have those plastic cups at the dollar store. You can go grab those plastic cups, they're little.
Right, you want to get the little clear plastic cups. Those are going to be the best ones to have under your arm without having your arm out in this big, you know what I mean? You can keep them pretty tight and keep your arm pretty close.
So that the plastic cup is a cheap route to go if you want to go that route. It works, it does the job. You can crap it.
You can crap the cup under your arm.
You can crack it a couple times. But yeah, so go ahead and check that out online at a magic shop, the neck cracker. We'll get into using this in a second, but
And just to throw out there, when I do this in my stage shows, I actually never used any crack at all, and they still freak out.
yes, you definitely don't need to have
Yeah.
this to freak them out. This was never at the very beginning of this. It was always about bringing it from the ground to the stage. And
This was kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, and it works. It really works. So
And it adds to the performance as well. So it's not something that you need. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, I don't have one, now I can't do this trick. Yes, you absolutely can.
or I don't
This
want to put a
just-
cup under my arm, or I don't want to get this.
Yeah, you don't even need it. You're going to freak them out just doing the circle. It's just this, you know, obviously when people hear bones crack, they're going to freak out. So
Yeah, as you'll see in the performances. Anyway, so as far as the routine goes, if you do have this, I have this in my back left pocket. Okay, just sticking just out a little bit. You can have it in or out. It's up to you guys. just sticking out here.
And just keep in mind, you can put that in any pocket on the side of not the arm. That way, when you come up like this, you're able to get it from here or get it from here or wherever. It doesn't have to be in your back pocket. That's just a good spot for it, because when you come up like this, your hand's kind of naturally behind your body. It doesn't look like you're reaching for anything.
So we'll take you through the very beginning of it. So here's the beginning. You can do this with your sleeves rolled up if you feel comfortable. I personally, when I perform magic, when I do walk around magic, or if I'm doing a stage show, I always have my sleeves rolled up. It's just the way I like to have them. And I do it with my sleeves rolled up. Some people, when you're in this position, if you have an awkward, if it looks weird to you or something, roll your sleeves down and do it with your sleeves down. It hides any kind of twist that you might feel uncomfortable or weird that people might see it. Mm-hmm. I've never had anybody see anything, because once you start the motion, it's already happening, and like your hand isn't in this position for very long.
Right.
Once you're here, you already started the movement, so no one's going to notice if your sleeves are rolled up or not. So it's a personal preference. It's up to you guys what you want to do with it. But as far as the performance goes, you're going to start with your right hand extended. So go ahead, right? And you're going to have you're going to tell them to make sure you keep your thumb down, right? Take your left hand and place it on top of the hand right here, so that you're synchronized, you're in the same position, everything looks the same. So now what you're going to do is I'm going to keep my left hand exactly where it is. I'm not going to move it, okay? I'm just going to move my right hand here. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to tap his elbow. I'm going to be like, make sure you keep your elbow completely straight and solid. Do not move your elbow. Perfect. So you're here, keep your arm straight, keep your thumb down, pointed down, and then come back up into the same position you were. Nothing has changed, okay? You're here. So now go wiggle your finger, make it down. And then for the third time that you come back to your hand, that's when you're going to do the switch. So
and the reason why he keeps going over to put your arm, the reason why he comes over and does this is because when you're in this position, you want the audience to see that. So he does this, comes back to this position, and again, the audience is seeing that you're in the exact same position. When you say, for me, I kind of come up and I say, you're going to feel some pressure in your elbow and some pressure in your shoulder. And the only reason you're doing this is because now you need to come back twisted. So you're giving the audience, you're basically just setting the audience up, giving them something to understand that this is how it's going. So when you do come up in the other position, you're ready to go, and the audience isn't going to notice any change. So again, only reason why you're coming back and pointing this is so you can switch your arm around.
Yes.
Continue.
So it's up here. You're going to have their hand here. Yes. Go. You're going to tell them to keep their arm straight. Now, when you come back the third time from their elbow, your hand is just going to slowly come from this position to grab it to this position. So you're going to change your position from here. You're turning your hand over, okay, and coming back up to your hand, and just placing. You're going to put a bit of pressure on your hand here, and push it backwards a little bit, so that your arm kind of pops out a little bit in a 90-degree angle.
And just so you're exactly clear, what he's doing is you're in this position. Technically, what's happening is you're from the front over. You're turning your hand all the way over. Now you're going to need your other hand to straighten your arm and get. I mean, it's hard to hold your hand naturally in that position. So when you're here, you do your thing. You're gonna basically in a nutshell, you're just turning your entire hand over, and then you're going to have to kind of hold. For me, I just hold pressure on my fingers right here to keep my hand in that position, because if I let go, you're not supposed to be like that. Your hand's naturally going to pop back. So for me, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I have to stay like this until I get to a half turn. Once I get to here, then I can let go to crack it over. So just remember, when you do it, it's like this, and then you got to hold the pressure on your hand right there, because if you let go, your hand's going to do that.
So yeah, so that's it. So here, go.
As you are.
Go. So up, the other side.
I can't, my shoulder's killing me.
Oh, okay. So you come up, and you're going to tell them to keep their arm straight. You're going to come back up and then move that in this position. Make sure your thumb's pointed down.
And real quick, you want them to use the same arm as you. I just have a messed up shoulder. It's getting sore. I have to switch. So always make sure they're like this. That way it looks the same. You don't want somebody like this, because then it doesn't look the same.
Yes, do not do that. Yeah, you want them to use the same arm as you. So anyway, so when your hand's like this, on the third time that you're going to go, make sure your elbow's straight. That's when you're going to do your change, and you're just going to bring your hand up and into position so nothing looks like it's changed. So from here, it's just from here to here, here to here. So my hand comes up, and it just literally puts it right into position from here to here.
And everyone's going to be different, because I actually can't turn my hand and come up into the position like he can. I actually have to grab my hand and use it to get there. So it might be different for some people. That's all.
Okay, so that's it. So once you're in this position, all right, it's all done now. You're ready to go. So their hands on top. You say, make sure your thumb's down. Wiggle your thumb. Wiggle your thumb. So now everything looks the same still, and you're going to slowly start. Now, just as I'm going to say, but the time that you move, that you put your hand from here to here, you want to start your movement pretty quickly, okay? So from here, okay, go ahead, wiggle your thumb, move your hand down, move your hand down, move your hand down. I'm moving it pretty much right after I've put it in that position. So you go down, you're moving your hand with your hand. Now I like to stop right here when it's 90 degrees to the floor, and I like to knock it with my hand, as if like it's...
Which looks crazy.
Yeah, and even if you want to make a little sound effect in your mouth, like I do that when I walk around, I just go, and for some reason it works. I'm like, and then from here, you might want to wiggle your fingers a little bit. I like to pull on my fingers and just kind of look like it's like pulling it up a little bit. You don't have to wiggle them the whole time, but just a little wiggle makes it look creepy.
And I think it's important that you pull your hand. I know that you don't.
Yep.
I pull my hand the entire time because in my mind, I'm thinking if I was going to do something like that, you would have to pull the hand if you were going to go
That's true.
in the wrong position because your hand wouldn't naturally go like that. So the idea is like you're forcing it
That's
around.
That's true. I agree with that completely. He's right. Yeah, like technically you should be yanking on that and moving it because it shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
That's right. You're right. It's a personal preference of yours. It's totally how
Exactly.
you want to perform it. So say you're cranking it and you keep going, they're going to be in the same position they started with pretty much. And you're going to come down to here. Now you're at the actual starting position.
Let me say,
Yes.
so you've done a 360 right here.
Yes.
For me, I go more. I go to I'm a little more flexible than Brandon. So you're starting here. So technically, like he was saying earlier off camera, you would end here. But because I have a little more flexibility and I can go back to 90 degrees, I do. So it's like 360 and a bit. And although you can stop at 360, your audience sees you've done a full circle, I think it adds just a little bit more to do that extra turn.
What he's saying, if you can go farther, go farther.
Yeah. And
Once
some
you come
people
back to
won't be
here,
able to.
if you can twist it back a little more and keep your arm straight, then do it. The farther you go, the better. He's right.
But if you can't, you'll do a 360 for sure no matter what. It's just a matter of how flexible you are if you can get that extra little bit.
So now you're in this position, okay? You've turned around, knocked it, right? You're twisting your arm, Do it nice and slowly too. Don't do this really fast.
Milk this.
Take your time milking it around, make it creepy. You'll start getting the reactions. The second you do this, you'll start to get the reactions, right? Then you're gonna start to get more, and then more people. Then you're gonna start to see hands on their mouths like, oh, it's gross, right? The hand twist, right? So then from here, you stop, okay? You let it sink in for a second that your hand is turned all the way around.
Yep.
Once you're in this position, if you bring your arm, if you don't move anything, keep everything locked and the same, and just turn your body a little bit and move your hand up into the air. There's two things you can do from here. If you don't have a neck cracker and you don't want to do all that stuff, you can kind of make it look like you untwist your arm. So it's here, you can end it just by untwisting it, going, like it's twisted around. Yeah. That's one ending if you don't want to do the neck cracker stuff, okay?
And I want to chime in on that real quick on how crazy it looks. If you pay attention, it looks like my hand did a full 360. I don't know why it does, but it does. Because really, you're only just doing that. But for some reason, you'll notice when you watch, I'll do it one more time because it just looks so crazy. It looks like I untwisted my hand, which is kind of nuts. Now, because I have no sleeves on, you don't see the arm do it. Which is kind of where maybe your sleeves are good.
Yes.
But again, it doesn't matter. No one's looking at your arm. They're actually looking at your hand. So when you do that, they're not going to notice that your arm didn't do a 360. They'll just see your hand twist and be like, oh my gosh.
So that's one ending you can do if you don't want to have a neck cracker stuff and you just want to untwist it and be like, okay, that's the end of it. Shake it off. It's done.
Yep.
Right? That's one way. If you want to do the neck cracker, there's actually two ways of ending the neck cracker. And that is you're here, right? You go up into the air. Now, the motion of me going from here up to here is when I'm going to go to my pocket to grab the neck cracker sticking out of my pocket. So I'm like, you just finished twisting it. My hand goes south, okay, to my side. Just leaves
And that's
it
at the same time as you come up. Your hand will naturally drop.
Yeah, so
here.
right now, I'm already got it in my hand. My hand's turning. It's already now in my hand, okay? It's by the time I start the turn, it's already in my hand. I come up here to display my hand in this awkward position. The neck cracker is just in your hand like so, okay? So it comes up instantly and just connects it with the back of my hand here, okay? As if I'm grabbing my hand again. There's two things. I'll show you one. One of them is from here. You can, from just up in the air, you can crack it right there. From here, you come up. Now, if you only crack half of the neck cracker or the glass under your arm, if that's the plastic cup, okay? Don't put glass under your arm, okay? The plastic cup, it doesn't make a good sound either. Here, you want to do half of it because you want the other half to be for when you uncrack it, right? So here, right, the crack is to here, and then you can come around and straighten it out. If you don't want it's just a matter of positioning. If you want to do this, the other way is to come up, grab it, right, and then turn your hand around to show the audience if you don't want to take it from there, and do this crack thing, and then straighten it back out.
But don't go down like he did. Keep
Yes,
your arm
you're
up
right.
like this.
Keep it out. So crack in, crack out. Save half and half. So only do half the neck cracker and then save the last half to do the out.
So just so we're completely clear on that, so once he's done his 360 all the way around, he's going to come up, he's going to show the arm, steal his neck cracker, come up, crack the arm here, crack the arm back, then do the untwist, which looks great. Or you're going to steal your neck cracker, you're going to come up, bring your arm forward, you're going to crack it, and then just kind of, shake it off.
But that's it. So those are the two ways that you can end it. There's three ways actually you can end it. Without the neck cracker, just the untwist.
Yep.
In the air, neck here, or in the front neck cracker. So that right there is torque for you guys.
And before we end it, I don't recommend you cracking your elbow and uncracking your elbow with no sound, because it doesn't make sense. So if you're not going to use a cup or a cracker, don't do that part. Just do the arm twist, show it, twist it, shake it off.
Just shake it off.
Shake it.
There's a couple little exercises that you can do to loosen up your wrist a little bit. Over a period of time, if you do this, when you're here, it won't feel so uncomfortable and awkward. All you need is a wall. Okay, so go out and get yourself a wall. No, I'm just kidding. You just have a wall. When you're up against the wall, okay, you're just gonna move your hand counterclockwise, okay, and use your hand like in the performance and move it up to where it's not so comfortable, right? And press it up against the wall and press it and hold it there. Do it for a minute or two. And as the days go by, just the longer you hold it there, the better, stretching it out. It's not going to hurt you. It's just going to stretch out your muscles in your wrist. So once you've done that a bunch of times, you'll loosen up everything and you'll get used to, you may even be able to go farther and farther. Like say you can only go to here. Over time, you'll probably be able to comfortably get it up to here by stretching it on the wall. So that's it. Just stretch it on the wall and work it out and do that daily just for a couple minutes. You don't have to spend too much time doing it.
This just in other news, we just thought of another way to do it. So if you have the arm cracker, instead of going like this and going like this, and you're gonna get just as just as freak out reactions. So when you're up like this, after you've done the twist all the way around, and you come up like this, take the neck cracker and put it against your leg. And when you do your untwist, push it. Which sounds and will look absolutely nuts. You will freak the people out.
The other thing is if you don't want to do it that way, you could also do it this way. If you have it in your hand, right, like he said on your leg, right, except the actual arm twist part of the illusion where you're actually doing, right? So you could do that as that part of the routine instead of I would save it for the end personally because it's a really great ending. And this is creepy enough that you don't need to do it then, but it's an option that you have to crack it on your body as you're going around if you want to do that. Or the glass under your
And let me say this, I did this at a university gig the other day, and it's not something I've ever done before. It was kind of like a last moment thing. I was getting ready to leave, so I just grabbed my client, and there was a few people staying around, and I did the arm twist. And like I said, just to try it, what I did is I had it in my hand the whole time. It's difficult to hide this and hold it and do the thing, so you're not going to probably want to do this. But what I did was I brought it up, and I had it hidden behind my hand. So what I did is when I got to here, instead of just going like this and having it go around, I put it against the side of my finger and I cracked it there. And
I know what it is, and that's gross.
And then I came up and I went around and I finished it. Okay. And again, if you only crack half, you still got more to just finish it.
Do the finishing
So
up.
just use your own, get yourself a net cracker and play with it. You're going to find there's a ton of different spots where you can crack bones. The other thing is get 2 of them. Put 1 in each pocket or 2 in one
you
pocket.
could.
If you have the opportunity to crack it here, show it, steal another one. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it just depends on how much you want to freak people out. The more bones you can crack, the better.
Yeah, that's true. But you're still going to get great reactions with the original just stand-up arm
with
twist.
no cracker, you'll still get reactions. So.
And I just want to say too that this effect here, this illusion, can not only be done on stage, but it can also be done in walk-around situations,
All the
which
time.
is important. Every time I go to a walk-around situation, there's always crowds of people, and it's a great way to get into people noticing you at the event. It's a great opener because it gets people reacting right away. Everybody around you is going, "Oh my God," and now they want to see what else you got, right? So, and it's a great way to involve more than just a couple people. It's everybody will start watching you, right?
And when I did at the university, I actually had everybody except for a few people line up. I had like 4 or 5 people with their arm out doing it with me. So you don't have to just do one. You can do as many people as you want.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to bring this to you guys so that you could start doing it on stage, walk around, and not having to go to the floor and staying away from all that, because only a few people can see during that. Here now everybody can see what's going on. Everybody will react. I've had great responses throughout the years I've been doing this. So I hope you guys enjoy all this too.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's a crack. If you are uncomfortable holding your hand all the way up like this, and you don't think you're going to be able to do it, right? Or you don't want to put the time in to do the stretching. Here's a good way to create the illusion without having to go through all that. Instead of when you start the illusion like this in the regular position, you're going to start with your hand tilted downwards a little bit like this, because if your hand can only go, say, to here, then that's the position that you want to start your hand in. Instead of starting here, start here. So it looks the same to them when you finish, when you're here to here. So start like this, a bit downwards on a 45 kind of degree angle, and then when you come back up after saying keep your elbow straight, come back up, you're going to be in this same angle position that you started in. So it just keeps everything looking the same. So that's just a little note to make if you don't want to go through all that stretch and trouble, and it still can be done without that. So I've decided to add a little bonus fun little trick for you guys. It always catches people off guard and it's always fun. The reason that I came up with this little thumb thing is because people always used to, at some events or gigs, they think they're being funny and they joke around and they do the whole thumb thing to me, and they're like, "Oh, look at it." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's just as an offbeat joke." I come up with my hand like this, right? And I come down and I slide my thumb down, move my hand down, come back and come back. So it's just a cool thumb slide down the hand, come back here and come back here. So all you're doing, your 2 fingers are wrapping around your thumb, right? Your left hand straight, thumbs out, 2 fingers wrapped around like this. And all you're doing is this thumb is going into my hand and this thumb is coming into play like this. So that's 2 things happening at the same time, this and this, as you're turning your hand. So here, okay? And try and get your thumb tucked back as much as possible. Keep your arm straight, okay? Here. And now you're gonna move this down your hand, and then you're gonna come away from your hand for a second. So they actually see the thumbs missing. And then come back to here, and then you're just gonna turn your hand here and re-grab the thumb here so it looks like you're still in the same position. So I'll show you again. Here. Okay, so just to fun, I'll do that slowly. Here, twist, okay? So you're in this position, thumb tucked behind, and you're just pinching like I got your nose kind of thing, right? But with 2 fingers, right? So here, twist, and it happens fast. Just let them see that your fingers are wrapped around your thumb, let them see that you're grabbing onto your thumb, and then it's just a quick motion of switching it through the 2 fingers. So here, slide down, move your hand down a little bit for a second, and then come back and put it back. Okay, that's it. Little extra bonus thing for you guys. I hope you have fun doing that, and we'll see you soon. I just wanted to make a last note that Miri did has some great stuff, books, DVDs, and all of the hand body stuff. It's really, really cool stuff. So I want to just recommend that you check it out. And also,
Yeah, we want to thank Murphy's Magic, of course, for producing this effect. And as always, we want to thank George and Devon for being such amazing cameramen and putting up with all of our crap. And of course, we want to thank you guys because, like I've said, I think on every DVD, without you, there is no us, and we fully know that. And we really appreciate you guys, following us or buying our effects.
so yeah, we'd love to have you let us know how the effect's working for you. So, if you ever want to contact us.
We're definitely into, if you want to send us a Facebook message, if you have any questions or you know,
even
you have anything
ideas
to
or
add on
things.
to it or anything like that, we're definitely open to talking to you guys.
So get out there and start grossing them out. Peace.